Okay, my name is Anthony Wisdom. My journey with Guruji started in on what was it, 2020, July the 5th, and I went to son Auntie's house, and I showed up actually with a number seven, a shirt that said number seven on it. And she was so blown away because I guess Guruji had come to her and told her to finally that she should finally make the introduction. Um, so she gave me his Sarup. Sorry, my correction if I'm not saying something correct. And I was there, and then days went by. I would be meditating, and I'd be looking at it, and I just noticed a change as I would start to recite um, the Guruji, and I just noticed a change within inside that was overwhelming to me. Moreover, I went to my first satsang. I believe it was in September, and before I went in, Son Auntie asked me to to basically just have an open mind to the process and everything, and I did that, and I went inside, and before I went inside, I just asked for Guruji to take away some of the stuff that I was going through in life, and I went inside, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to bow before him. I didn't know how to like if I should touch his shoes. So I just kneeled there for a second as I was following others. And then I went and sat down back in the corner. So probably I would say, I don't know, probably 10, 15 minutes of me sitting there not knowing what to do. All of a sudden, Guruji just came out of the picture, went down and bowed with his hands straight out, touching the shoes. And I was just like in shock, like, is everybody else seeing this? But I come to find out that nobody else was. And then he went back in the picture. So then an auntie that was sitting beside me, um, I asked her if I could go back up. She said, yes, you can. And what I did was I went back up and I bowed down to him with my hands straight out, touching his shoes the way that he taught me how to. And then I was just in disbelief. And then when I came back to sit, I started smelling this smell, a beautiful fragrance, and I was just wondering what it was. Come to find out, it was the smell of roses that I was smelling, and I was just in disbelief. And then afterwards, due to the fact that this was at the beginning of COVID, um, and there wasn't a lot of people there, I started to share this, and everybody was in disbelief because I couldn't believe this had actually happened. And I was just like, whoa, this is unbelievable that he came to me in this way. And moreover, that he came through the picture. Um, then after that, um, as days progressed, everything that I had possibly been going through in life just disappeared. Like I started to experience an extreme amount of happiness that I've never experienced before in life. Um, Everything, like the joy that I started to get in my life was just unbelievable. I was waking up happy. Um, a couple of times I woke up being suffocated with the smell of roses. And I was just like, whoa, this is incredible. I would just wake up and I'd be like, I'd be like sniffling, like, oh, and I'd smell the smell of roses, which I didn't know could even be possible. And then one day I was at home and I just heard a voice say, "Go for a walk." And I went for the walk and the wind was blowing. And then all of a sudden I was outside. As I passed the tree, I went on this long walk and I smelled the smell of roses again. And I was like, wow, Guruji, that's you. So that was beautiful. And then I would even call Son Auntie saying, heaven on earth, because I had never experienced anything like this before. The amount of extreme happiness. This went on for months where I was just happy. Everything just went away completely. And it was just unbelievable. My meditation got stronger. Um, I would be listening to the Shabbats, and although I don't understand them, they just seem to resonate to my life because they were just bringing me so much joy. And everything just became unbelievable. As I attended satsangs, I would get more visions. Um, and it was just for this went on for months where I just got this amount of joy that was just unbelievable, and and my spirit was just overwhelmed with just pure joy where I couldn't even explain it. Um, and it was just all Guruji, and yeah, I've never experienced anything to it like it. Like I'm still speechless about what I've experienced, although it's probably been like 2.5 years now, right? And it's just been overwhelming to me. Um, as time started to go on, Guruji would come to me and just teach me little lessons. Like I remember um, him sending me a vision that I should talk about the work in the community that I do. Like I'll go feed the homeless. So I went up there and I give a satsang about feeding the homeless. And then one of the sangat said, we don't speak about our seva. And I was like, I was confused because I was like, but Guruji told me to do this. So I was like really confused. So I went home and I prayed about it, and then Guruji sent me a vision, just just letting me know that sometimes when you're in different environments, you do different things, and sometimes you have to hold your mouth, like because what I experienced too was that what Guruji was doing and what I didn't know was that not everybody was experienced the same type of happiness as me or going through what I was going through. And he did that for me in that moment. And I was just thinking that everybody in there was going through the same thing. And this is what everybody went through, because sometimes I believe we can say that we want to be happy, and we say we want to be this and that, but then when it comes, sometimes we don't know what to do with it exactly, because it can be overwhelming to us, which it was overwhelming to me, having all this joy that I wanted, having all this peace in my heart that I ever wanted. And sometimes I would speak when I wasn't supposed to speak because I would be speaking of everything that I was going through when probably other people were looking at me like, oh, we're not going through the exact same thing. So I guess that was Guruji's way of basically just saying, just take it easy and be mindful of what you say, um, because people are blessed in different ways. Like they could be blessed in one way, and then I could be blessed in this way. So he taught me many lessons about that, and as time has gone on, um, even he did something so beautiful that I started to see this young lady, and and I went to go bow down in front of Guruji, and the home that I go to, which is Shubra Auntie and Gary Uncle's house, they always have the roses there, and sometimes I'll like take two roses and just two rose petals and just take it with me. But this time he said, um, take two rose petals and bring it to Natalie and touch her. And Natalie is a friend of mine. So I brought it to her, and I touched her with it. And I was like, okay. I didn't let her know that I did it. So then the 2 days later, I woke up and I just smelt all blood. And I was like, why am I smelling blood for? This is weird. So then I, the following night, I got another vision that she needs to go and get her health card and needs to go to the doctor. So I took her to I took her to get her health card, which is a card that we all need here in Toronto. And I took her to get her health card. And then I I I took her to get her health card. Is everybody there?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I took her to get her health card, and then I took her to the doctor. When the doctor took her blood, and the next morning they rushed her to the hospital right away because she needed a blood transfusion. And she needed a blood transfusion. She had to stay in the hospital. She took three, I believe it was 3 bags of blood, and 3 bags of iron. The following week, she needed a bag of iron every single week. So Guruji basically saved her life because all the doctors basically told her that if she didn't make it to the hospital on time, she would have died because she was already having problems being out of breath and walking and things like that. And she was wondering what was going on and she couldn't figure it out. But even with her, like, I can't even really tell her because she doesn't know Guruji. Although when she's come to my home, she's seen my room just being full with his pictures all over his room, all over my room. And then she sees where I have his shoes, and she knows that I meditate daily, and she knows that I go to satsangs. And I've even tried to show her her videos, but not everybody's accepting. So um, it's just unbelievable the things that he's even done, like he did for this young lady, that he saved their life. And she doesn't even know. I try to explain it in some ways, but if you're not there, you're not there. But it's just a beautiful thing what he did in that sense. And even my mom recently going through a brain aneurysm. I know that it was him that saved her in that situation, right? So he's done many things for me. Even with me, it was my birthday last year. I turned 50, and he said, "What do you want?" He came to me in a vision, and then I prayed, and then I said, "Oh, I want to lose weight because I've put on like 20 pounds within the last like year and a half, right during COVID and everything like that." So he didn't answer me right away, but about 2 weeks later, he gave me a vision of this Indian restaurant that's down the street from me. And it had on the vision, it had $10, which in anybody that knows in numerology, you take away the zero and then one is like new beginning. So since the beginning of the year until now, I've lost 14 pounds, just by making sure that I'm getting, like, the proper lentils and the chickpeas within my diet. And I've just been eating there once a week. I'll go get food from this Indian restaurant, and I'll just keep that, like, at least 5 days a week. I'll be eating that, and I've just slowly but surely been dropping the weight. It's not fast enough for me, but everything is in his time. So it's just beautiful the things that he's done in my life. And just going to satsangs and just being at peace. Um, I still I still don't have that. I haven't gotten back that level of happiness that I had at that beginning. Those first, like, I would say 4 or 5 months, it's kind of faded, which is okay because in that period of time, I felt like life was perfect, and life isn't perfect, right? So it was a beautiful thing to experience it, and I'll always remember it even to the point where some people might think I'm crazy, but I've tattooed a big Om on my hand just so that I'm always in memory. Like anytime if I get mad or anything, I just kiss my hand and kiss my Om because I always remember that I want to be in that place of peace where Guruji when Guruji first came to me, and everything that I experienced was so beautiful. So I'm grateful for this process and everything that I'm going through. I'm grateful for the people that have introduced me to this journey, and that continue to bring me on this journey as I learn day by day. Because some, not all, but some got have treated me better than members in my own family. Just the love they've shown me. Because even my daughter, when I brought her to a satsang one time, she was like, "Whoa, like daddy, like they treat you so good when you come here." So it's just a beautiful thing, and this process has been so beautiful. So, Jai Guruji.
Jai Guruji, thank you, Uncle. Uh, One thing I would personally like to say, I've heard so many satsangs myself, but the thing that you narrated for the starting and very starting, the thing you narrated, that Guruji himself came out of his picture and just showed you how to bow in front of him. So that was something very blissful. That very rare things I've ever heard till now.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming up and sharing such a beautiful satsang. I
Okay.
guess you must be having many more satsangs if you can share. There is no time foundation that you need to speak this much only. There is no time foundation. If you want, you can share as much you want.
Okay. What's something else I can share? Oh, also within that process of 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 being there, and sometimes going up and oversharing. He did come out of. I've never shared this before. Oh, I did tell one person. I told Gary Uncle, in Toronto, who that's who we have the satsangs at his house. Guruji came out and tapped me on my third eye, and I guess he came out of the picture again and tapped me out on my third eye because I guess, and even when I asked Gary Uncle about it, because I guess I don't know if some people were like wondering like how come he's experiencing this, and he was saying like like not everybody experiences the level of things that you're going through, and and it's kind of like I would kind of explain it like I guess if you had a whole bunch of money and then all of a sudden you're just spending all this money in front of everybody, and then some people only have a minimal amount of money, and then because I would go up and just talk about all these things because Guruji would also send me pictures of dreams of me and him walking on the beach and walking on the shore, and I'd be like, whoa, and I'd wake up and I'd come back and I would show all these dreams and stuff. And funny thing is, even Bobby Uncle, please forgive me, but I don't remember his wife's name. Guruji came to me and said, she's going to tell you something. And I'm like, what is she going to tell me? And he said, wait for it. And for 2 months, I sat there waiting for her to say something to me. And then she finally gave a satsang, but she was speaking in Hindu. Um, um, and, and, and I didn't know what she was saying. So I asked her what she was saying. And then she said, I was basically saying that sometimes when your guru comes to you and tells you something, you can't share it with other people. And then I said to her, I said, Guruji, I've been waiting for 2 months for you to say something to me. And Guruji, you finally spoke. And that's what he told me. And he said, like, sometimes when he shares certain things with you, you got to be careful on what you say, because it could just be for you, and then therefore you're sharing, and it's not for other people to comprehend, right? So it's just showing that you have to also be patient as well. Um, you have to be patient in what you're doing in life, because look how he made me wait 2 months for that message, and I was just waiting. And another satsang is, um, I was going through a court case, and they had frozen my bank accounts, and I knew that I wasn't in the wrong, so I refused to pay for a lawyer. And um, the person that I was up against, they had gotten a lawyer, and then Guruji just kept on sending me all these visions on what to do in the case. So I started beating the lawyer, and it was a junior lawyer. And then they got a senior lawyer, and I started beating that lawyer. Then I won the case, and they came back with a technicality. Then I had to go back. Guruji showed me what to do again, and I I won. I won the case. I won the case, but within that, with me winning, I could have probably gotten an extra $40,000, but Guruji just told me to settle on another amount, um, and just leave it at that. And the lesson that he taught me, and in that was, just because I showed you how to win, that doesn't mean you have to take it all. Because I was upset because my bank account was frozen with a lot of money, and when I started winning, and he started to show me how to win, I wanted to take it all. And what he showed me is, stop at this point, and you don't have to go and take that extra $40,000 that you're more entitled to, but stop at this point, because I will bless you with the rest, right? And it just showed me his grace, because that other person that I was going up against, like, I saw them at court, and they just started cursing me, and because they were losing, and and they just started cursing me and all this stuff like this. And I was like, okay, I just had to deal with it. And he just showed so much grace in that in that moment, that here goes this person, um that he didn't even know, and he showed them grace too by not taking everything away from them, even though he could have. So that was a beautiful learning experience to me. And I just moved on, um, just seeing how wonderful he can be, and that he shows big lessons and grace to us all, even if we're not with him. So that's a beautiful thing to me. And Jagaruji.